You know what you should be doing, but every time you sit down to work, your brain pulls you to do something else. You keep saying to yourself, 5 more minutes, and then I'll start. And that 5 minutes turn into an hour. And that work, it never gets done. And you know what? Today, I'll give you the exact system I have been following for the last 2.5 years and refining it in order to beat distractions. Let's make it clear. This is not your fault completely. You are partially to blame, but not entirely. The modern world has hijacked both your mind and everyone's brain to get distracted. Distraction and content consumption has become the prized thing that we all want to do because it's easy to do it. Imagine this. You have more information than literally all the people in the history combined. Why? Because you have a thing called internet. You can leverage this or you can get stuck into it. The decision is yours. But you know what? The ones who escape it, they not only never go back, something clicks in their mind. So, section 1, the mindset shift. First, you need to understand something. Discipline is not about removing distraction, it's about reducing them. These are two different words, removing and reducing. Removing is like, I am distracted, I want to delete it completely from my life forever. It's not possible. You have tried to quit a particular habit for the last 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years, and you have failed consistently. It's because it's not possible. What is possible is reducing. That means bringing down the entire quantity of the habits that you perform. What did I even say? Well, to put it into perspective, let's imagine this. You have a habit of scrolling shorts each and every day at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, and let's say you track your habits. Always you check off the box of scrolling shorts every day. So what you can do is, if you're addicted to it for 30 days a month, next month you can reduce it down to 25. Now your brain will start to think that it is not worth it. If I'm wasting my time on 25 days, it's not worth it to do. But shut up. It's literally me versus your brain right now. Just think about it. I am suggesting you something good and your brain is actively listening to it and saying that no, it's not gonna work. So who is on your side? That was the same brain that convinced you to do the bad habits. And I am telling you as a guy who doesn't do it. So who do you think is more credible? I just want you to understand a simple fucking fact. I am on your side right now and your brain is not. That should be terrifying. So from now on, you have to shut down your ego and just reduce it rather than remove it. Slowly but surely, the habit will fade away. But at first, we need to do the baby steps and just try to reduce the quantity of the bad habits and increase the quantity of the good ones. That was about discipline, but the thing is, there is a branch of discipline which is so popular in the self-improvement community. That's called willpower. And let it be known to you, it's a finite resource. If you exhaust it, you're gonna go back. Now, I am not trying to be the guy who always tells you never use these willpower hacks. I'm not saying you always install blockers, you always have a strict discipline lifestyle or punish yourself whenever you fail to do a certain task. I'm definitely not saying that. What I'm instead saying is, if you think you can rely on willpower or if you think you can always rely on discipline, in both the cases you're gonna fail. You have to have a mix between them. A disciplined mindset that whenever you get a craving, you think to yourself that alright, it is a craving. You have to have that self-awareness, and also the willpower that alright, I will not go, I will not indulge. Discipline is like, no, I cannot indulge, I should not indulge. And willpower is like, no, I will not indulge. Both are different things, but both are actually branches of the same feeling that I will not do it. And so it can be a little bit confusing sometimes. So essentially what I meant was, absolutely in layman terms, don't focus on either of the skills. Have a blend of them. Don't try to be too disciplined. Don't try to be too willpower focused. Have a mix of them so that you can actually get the things done. And just as a clarification, I never said discipline is shit. And just to be clear, part 2, the system. So in this part, I have 3 steps. And if you follow these 3 steps, I will guarantee that you are gonna focus better. So let's get started. Step 1, the physical environment. I did not name all the steps very fancily so that you can get hooked onto the system rather than actually focusing on the work. So environment is just that. Focusing on getting rid of all the distractions from your environment. Your phone, gone. Your browser, logged. Your workplace, sacred. Let me tell you how I do it. I am facing this direction currently, and this is where my laptop is at. And what do I use it for? Studying, scripting, editing, all of these tasks. I have a particular task assigned to a particular place, which means if I'm sitting here facing this direction, it means I'm going to either study, I'm going to either work on my script, or I'm going to edit a video. But if I just change the direction of the chair, or say I just go and sit on my bed, that time a different part of my brain activates. One which tells me now I'm going to watch a podcast, now I'm going to scroll on YouTube, Now I'm going to do something which I won't do sitting on this chair facing this direction. And so the key takeaway from this section is that if distractions are a click away from you, you're already lost. So just because you have blocked the distractions, it does not mean you're gonna be in the top 1%, because you will still crave the distractions, because that's what you have conditioned your mind to do. So what you need to do is change your rewiring inside your brain. You already know the common practices. Have delayed gratification, don't check right now, check later, 10-15 minutes later. Use friction. If you are having something in front of you, you will definitely crave, then just put a layer of resistance to it, then have a reward at the end of the deep work session. You already know this basic stuff. What I will give you is far more efficient, optimized, and better. And you know what that is? This. So these are writing pads, but how I use them is a bit different. I use them as distraction journals. Whenever I'm working and a thought comes to me, I write them down. Say I'm practicing questions and I randomly get a thought about messaging someone. I will write it down. If I'm scripting and I get a thought that I have to do XYZ, I will write it down. If I'm recording just as I'm now and I recently got the idea of the thumbnail of the video, it just popped into my head a few minutes back, I have already paused and I have written it down. That is a powerful tool, and literally none of the people that I hear preach this. Like literally I have not seen a single big personality in self-improvement say this, that have a distraction journal or at least emphasize it. To be honest, if you take anything from me, even if you consume every bit of content I have produced and you take one advice from me, it will be this: maintain a distraction journal. It's a godsend. So with that, we come to step 3, the 80-20 execution plan. Now you already know Pareto's principle, which states 80% of the result come from 20% of the actions. That's basic. But you know what's a very peculiar thing? It is that you know all of these things, but you have not taken action. If you are watching this right now, then you know you have not taken action, because you would have been doing the thing which is important to you right now. This is not important. Even if the advice might be good, this is not important. So you are not doing what's actually important. So what's this 20%? Now, if you are too tired to even help yourself, I will do 2 things right now. One, I really want to slap you hard. Second is that I will tell you what's important. Let's say you're studying a chapter and after knowing a bit of theory, practicing questions is the thing that you want to do. Say you're gonna make a video, recording is the single most important thing. Not scripting, not changing the title and thumbnail, not editing, nothing. Only recording. Because let's put it in this way. What would you do for a certain task if you could do only one thing for that task or for that goal for the rest of your life? Or if I want to sound like more productivity guru type, then what's the one thing that moves the needle? That honestly sounds so cliche and so AI type. So anyways, after that, we move on to part 3. It's not gonna be such long as the previous sections because you already have the action plan. These are some of the things which are kind of like the advanced sprinkles on the top of the vase. So starting off, number 1 is track how much time you work for, because what does not get measured does not get worked upon. Number 2, remember you're gonna die, so get the most done out of your time. Number 3, remember it's always death by 1,000 cuts. Elephants don't bite, but ants do. And finally, if you want something, the universe will not just give it to you magically because you believe in some woo-woo bullshit. You have to get it. You have to sacrifice. I'm working on a course right now about focus and how you can optimize it, and it will be a literal masterclass on how to optimize each and every part of focus so that you never get distracted again. I'll put the link in the description. You can go and check it out. And with that, I guess once again, start if you haven't already. Man, literally, you have no idea how much time I got interrupted in the recording by my family. Goodbye.